All right. See if I can get this as good as possible with the equipment that I have. Now, greetings to all the beloved across the world. If you do not know who I am, my name is Chief Priest Iron Bush, also known as Shaman Silver Fox of the Hopewell tribe. Many of you have never even heard of that. Um, I am active. I'm an active part of two tribes. One is the Lenape tribe that has three clans, and one of the clans in English language is the Turtle Clan, and I am the active Sagamore chief of the Turtle Clan of the Lenape tribe. All right, to give you a little background. Greetings, Sister Liz, everyone else that's on here. I know a lot of you got different names on YouTube. It's greatly appreciated that y'all came over. Yeah, go ahead and share it. Share it. Being as though I'm doing it on YouTube, I'm gonna need you guys to share it on your Facebook right now. Take the time to just hit the little share thing and put it on your Facebook. Now, I wanted to get directly into the teaching that I've been telling you guys about the truth about the way the realm is set up, how everyone does not have a clue what is going on. All these truthers out here that have 100,000, 200,000, one person that has the truth. There's bits and pieces that you can get from these people, but I haven't heard anybody put it all together. I'm currently working on a book to do that. A lot of you guys know that. Um, it is taking long because I'm making sure that it is proper. Okay, it's going to be one of those books that it's going to be all you need as far as a book. You're not going to need a whole it's from decades and decades of not just research of my carnal mind, my physical research, but also revelation of and from the Great Spirit and the origin of soul, which is vastly more important and holds way more weight than any amount of books you can read. You could have the biggest library. You could have access to the library under the Vatican, and that is not more. That it doesn't even come close through the Great Spirit to the origin of your soul. Okay, let's be clear. There's two different things. The Great Spirit can be used to do evil as well. That's what people don't understand or understand. That's why when we had these beings like Yahweh, okay, it's a spirit. Yahweh, the Yod He Vav He is a code. It's a fourth dimensional code. Okay, they call it Metatron's cube and things like that. All right, it's in 2D it's what you would call the Star of David. Okay, and related to Saturn and the cube and all of that. Okay, it went from the pyramids in the age of Taurus being worshipped because they knew the truth. It's just that every time the truth gets revealed, a group of what we call elites, or really is a priesthood, gets the grasp of it and makes sure it cannot be distributed. That's why when you come across teachings like this, you must take heed to them the best way you can and be led to spread it on. And first of all, go inward and make sure that this resonates with you. Don't trust me as a man. Listen to the great spirit flowing through these teachings, and then let that confirm inward. So enough of the small talk. Let's get started. I do have my children here by myself, so hopefully everything goes smooth. Hey baby, dad is teaching. Okay, so I'm gonna run this little clip real quick. I'm on YouTube, so I might be a little, wishy-washy on how I operate, being as though I'm not real familiar with it. It's just a lot smaller, see? Let me see here. On Facebook, the screen is a lot bigger when I do it like this. Might have to zoom in.
מה שרואה עוד, וגם משהו שעדיין משאיר ליבו, אז הייתה מה שהוא למה ידיעתו.
Okay, let me run that back. What they said is important. Read what they said.
And Gulliver?
ליבו, אז הייתה מה שהוא למה ידיעתו.
So basically, they said Mashiach still has not came. Talking about Messiah. They said you got to do something to hasten his coming. The dude said we are hastening his coming. This is letting you know that they are waiting on what the return of Christ is literally the Antichrist. There is not going to be a flesh and blood being that is coming back to this earth unless the Great Mother declares it. And it's already been done in the age that we're in, which is the age of Pisces, which means you've already had your sign. That's why there will be no more signs. The only signs coming is going to be the sign at the end, the changeover event. Now, there's a lot that you're going to have to learn to grasp this teaching, but we got to keep it going. So some of this stuff might be a little boring to you, but I have to make the foundation. The thing that's going on in Palestine over that, well, 50% of Palestinians are children. Okay, so there's just a small fact for you. So this war, more than half of the population of Palestinians are kids. Now we're gonna get into why this is relevant. Let me see if I want to show any more of this.
Another map means that we...
Okay. Look at this. That's the head of a lion and the tail of a snake. In Mesoamerica, known as Quetzalcoatl. the head of a lion, the body of a snake. It's the same entity everywhere, worldwide, that's trying to bring in its son as itself, which is going to be the Christ that tries to bring in the golden age. Okay? Everyone thinks all this bad stuff is finna happen, but it's literally gonna be marketed as a golden age. Only those that know what's really going on are gonna be the threat. So you are receiving the truth right now, beloved. And this is going to be a really long teaching. Just letting you know. It's going to be a beautiful teaching. This is all from the Great Spirit.
מה שלא יאות, וגם משהו שעדיין משאיר ליבו. אז הייתה מה שהוא ומה ידיעתו.
Same thing. It's been happening over and over and over. This is not nothing new. Sacrificing the son.
Watching rise above.
This goes way back further than the Bible. The Bible took all these stories and rewrote them, y'all. Let me be clear. Sacrificing of the son and this and that. Now, let's see where I want to begin. First of all, I have to let y'all know about the God of the Bible, particularly the Old Testament. I need you to know what's going on because it's very important that you know. Many of you already do, but some of you are still listening to teachers that all they do is talk about the Bible and the God of the Bible. And they think because they're calling them, you may believe because they're using different names now and stuff like they're telling you something different. They are not. The Old Testament God of the Bible is still who you would call the devil because the devil is the adversary. And even in the New Testament, the New Testament was the whole Bible is a forged book that stole stories from all over that part of the world. That's all it is, y'all. The only thing that is useful in the Bible are little proverbs here and there that can help you in your life. Maybe you can, read a story and you find the good in it. But it's mythological, but there's code in it. And in this moment, in this hour, we have people that are connected to the Great Spirit that have broken the codes and have been given the codes, been revealed it. Okay. So, first of all, let me start with, I want to give you guys something positive. I want to tell you that hard work is relaxing. It's easy as falling off a log. It's a pleasure to make full use of one's body. It's a pleasure to make full use of one's mind. Hard work is often a drag to anticipate. Don't anticipate. Don't do what you don't need to do, and you will never feel lazy. It is a pleasure to be part of the energy flow. A body or mind is a body or mind that can seldom fully rest. Why do I tell you that? Because it's all about you flowing with the rivers of living water. That's what it's all about. Okay? And that is why this is being revealed to you, not for fear, not for views, not for anything to prove, to show somebody up and show them they were wrong. It's about you catching on to the current. Most of you already are, but some of you are maybe still fighting against it. And it's through the teachings and people from other places that are decent folks, decent people. I love them, we love them, but unfortunately, they are still teaching false doctrine. Even the ones that you think are not, they are. Now, let's see. Let's see where I want to begin. Now, every single thing in the Bible, all the religions, everything you've ever heard, they stole. All this Father God stuff never existed till about 6,000 years ago. It was always Mother Goddess praise, not worship, veneration. The Father God thing did not even exist until 6,000 years ago, which is so new and so little. It's like a speck. It's like a piece of sand. Everyone knew that the origin of your soul came from or was said as the Great Mother. And this picture you have no clue what they mean. This is a bull. The bull or cow always represents the Great Mother. That's why the person that they tell you is Moses, when he came down off the mountain, was so mad that they had made a bull, because that was Mother God veneration. It had nothing to do with anything else. It was them going back to the Mother Goddess. Okay? What this is, even if it's a bull and a bull is a male, it doesn't matter. It's related to the Mother Goddess. What this is they put the horns and they put a beard on here, and they have a lion on the back of the bull. The bull's one foot is on top of a crescent. Do you see the crescent? The crescent goes back 30,000 to 50,000 years. We have crescents made of mammoth tusks here that we can carbon date, that shows that 30 to 50,000 years ago, mankind was conscious enough to the Great Mother. And the crescent was always her symbol. And before the moon, it was Venus, the morning star. Why do you think they call it the morning star? Because that was during the nighttime, when everybody, when before dawn broke, or when it got a little brighter, that's when you would see this star. Venus has the same exact cycles as today's moon. 14 cycles. It's the exact same. Okay? But the moon and the sun are not physical objects. We're going to get into all that. The sun itself is a reflection. The sun is not a ball that there's only one place where light comes into here, and it reflects in the firmament. In every star you see is a window. The planets are windows, but they are principalities because they move around and they send from different angles. Okay? The top of the dome is where all the light comes through, that comes from plasma, but it's not plasma, because plasma is matter. It's the fourth state of matter, meaning it cannot go through matter. meaning plasma cannot even go through the dome. Only the light can go through the dome. And let me be clear, there's more than one dome. There is more than one dome. There's one made of like a gelatin substance. There's one made of frozen air that's gonna break and crack, and that's in the book of Revelation. 80-pound hailstones are gonna be coming down. That's the ice dome that's gonna break. Okay, there's many domes. The story of Atlantis is Atlantis never existed down here. Atlantis was when the changeover event happens and we go back to the red purple sky. You can look up and see all the domes reflections, and it's 3 of them, and you can see the 3 rings in the sky. So when they say Atlantis sunk into the sea, they're not talking about the sea below us. It went into the sea above. After the changeover event, when the rings disappeared, it went into the waters above. Atlantis is in the sky, beloved. It's 3 different levels. They would call the Northmen would call this Valhalla and this and that. Okay, all the 33 original tribes all had different ways of explaining this that have been all but lost. And I'm here to give you back what is rightfully yours. You might be Irish in your blood. You might be Ethiopian. You might be from the islands. You might been here many different times from many different places. Many of you are. And trust me, it is a real thing. So some of you are again, but I'm not going to get into the reincarnation thing right now and get sidetracked. Let's focus. Okay, so the bull, which is actually a cow, which is the mother god, which represents, and you can see it's the right foot. Actually, it's the right hand because the feet are in the back. So the front, this would be the equivalent of our right hand. The right hand is standing on the crescent because it represented where everyone got their power and energy and authority and everything. Life, the Great Spirit came from the crescent. That's what that comes from. The lion represents the patriarch people known as today as the Anunnaki, that you've been told are fallen angels and come from heaven, and they have some kind of superpowers. No, all they did was come down from what I just told you. The different domes that exist here. And they came down from another dome, and they made the choice to come down here. And originally they were in the Americas. And because of a cataclysm in the Americas will be the original Atlantis, if you want to call something Atlantis, because there was land over there in the Atlantic Ocean that sunk. Just like California over there by Hawaii is what you would call Lemuria, that sunk. But there's still places of it that exist, and it's going to rise again after the event that's coming. The old shall become new, and the new will go old. Okay, it's a cycle, but not all are going to make it. And by the time this teaching is done, I'm not saying this particular one, but this series, I'm going to explain to you what the Phoenix is, what they teach at Archaics, the 138-year cycle. I remember following Archaics when he had less than 2,000 followers. I binge watched all his videos. I'm familiar with all his work. And Never once have I heard him say what it was and what it actually did. Um, it's just all about this 138-year thing is coming, and that it's gonna it's just bringing destruction and this and that. But I've never heard an explanation on why it happens and the construct behind it. And I'm gonna give that to you because it's a small scale of the bigger. It's the micro and the macro, and we're coming up on the macro, the big one. So here we have the lion, which represents the patriarch that's eating the mother goddess, and they even mocked her and put a beard and then the horns to show that they're converting, and got her standing on the moon, or it really wasn't even about the moon until later, the crescent, showing, hey, we're conquering. And just so you know that it wasn't they're not talking about the lioness. They made sure to put these things as well to show you we're not talking about no lioness. That's a male lion. So here's your lioness right here, getting shot with the arrows, getting killed. So they made sure to give you other clues like this in Sumer, ancient Sumer, to let you know that they were killing and taking over anything that had to do with the matriarch, which, don't get caught up. I'm not pushing politics. It's not about politics or restoring some kind of governmental thing with the queen and this and that. It's not about that. It really has to do with the metaphysical level that has to do with your right brain, which is the feminine aspect. They have totally knocked off. That's what NASA tells you. Earth is off its axis. That's the way of them giving you a little bit of truth that's why they call it the Shu Min resonance of the natural energy from Earth. Well, Shu and Min were both male deities from ancient Egypt that were known for erect penises, phalluses. They're letting you know they got all the energy coming off of Earth masculine. So when it returns to being restored after this changeover event, it's going to be harmonized, and that's when it will be called Shu Tefnut resonance, where the feminine and masculine the two will become one. All right, as the Christ said in the Gospel of Thomas, that was taken out of, and they made sure they took that out of the Bible. Here again, we have them. This is something else that I'll get into that has to do with basically same thing, but they're going back and forth. Here we have, this is Enlil, the Lord of the air, with his and how the bull had the foot. This is basically who turned into Yahweh. Okay. And later even Michael with the sword in his hand and all that. Well, here we have the lion of the tribe of Judah slaying the cattle, and the goddess, the goddess basically they're letting everyone know they have came and they've subdued this earth. And they're from this earth. They're not from no Nibiru. Nibiru means Nebharu, which means third eye, or your first eye. Return of the eye opening. And they know that their time is up. Okay? Their time is up because the changeover event we're coming to is coming back to the red, purplish sky. They only rule when it's the blue sky and the sun and the moon are in the sky. We're coming to a time when it's our time, there is no sun disk in the sky and there is no moon in the sky. That's why when the changeover event happened, the original words in the Bible in Hebrew, in your Bible it says in the beginning, 3 different words. In Hebrew, it's one word that says Bereshith. that is basically, in English it says be reset. They not telling you the beginning of creation, they telling you the last reset. When these beings came into power. So when you read that Satan will be bound and then it will be loose for a small season, it's a cycle. After the next changeover event, after the next one, which is thousands of years from now, back to water, it will be a great flood. And then these beings will emerge and they will take back control of the earth. But our time is coming where we are going to inherit the earth. There's going to be no sun in the sky. When there's no sun in the sky, there's no radiation. And it also means all the good rays from the sun shine 24 hours, which means the vegetation grows nonstop. The trees grow so big, they are mountains. That's why the mountains that are here are actually tree stumps, because there are ancient trees of life that grow really large, and then we start growing back large too. Our bones restorate and everything, because we get only the positive rays, because the sky is illuminated 24 hours. There really is no hours. There's no such thing as 24 hours when this happens. I'm just trying to talk to you in today's lingo. There is no night. After this changeover event, there will be no night. Okay? There will be no sun in the sky. The sky itself will illuminate. And all the vegetation grows. We no longer have to toil with the land, because the food grows everywhere from the energy that's coming from the sky from all angles. The water will go down as a vapor and return up to the sky, because the ice firmament will be gone. The ice firmament is going to break, and there will only be a liquid vapor canopy firmament that, through electromagnetism, it's actually called magnetohydrodynamics. I'm gonna get into it. It's the behavior of an electrically conductive fluid, which is plasma, molten metals, and water, acted on by a magnetic field. That's why I always tell you, your soul is magnetic, your spirit is electric. This event that's coming is all electric. The magnetism is not going to flip. The magnetism stays the same, which means your soul stays the same. And these beings are jealous of that, because they operationally and make portals and things like that. And they're jealous because they are disconnected from their soul, the magnetism. In this changeover event, the magnetism doesn't change. It stays the same, which means your soul will not be affected. You will still be the same being. And your soul will have the ability to come back into another body, y'all. Isn't that amazing? And not a physical body, a spirit emanation. But it's after the flip. So when it flips, the two become one, meaning it's a perfect balance, and it's something you've never felt before. So it's something you've never felt before. So, yeah, guys, let me know, is it breaking up real bad? Because I don't want to waste 2 hours and then you guys can't hear it. If it's like that, I'll go over to YouTube. I'll go back over to Facebook, and I'll redo this whole thing, because we're not that far into it yet. So let me know if it's bad, if the connection is bad. Okay, so I was gonna do a big section about how the God of the Bible is basically the devil. But I think most of you know that by now. They stole it. Everything from the Bible they stole from the mother goddess. which is the Great Mother, which is way older than any of this Bible, this Father God stuff. Listen, the only one that they've ever called the Father, when they brought their Father God stuff, that's when earth turned to hell. I'm sorry to say, that's a hard thing for a lot of you to swallow. They even flipped what it was all about, but they left codes. Before, in the ancient times, the heavens was known as the mother. And that's why even the Hebrews, in their Hebrew language, they call the heavens She Maya. They add little codes. Even Hebrew means her web. It's her web. They got codes through the Kabbalah, the Kabbalists, where they communicate to each other, where they know the truth. The Roman Catholic Church knows the truth, that the true origin of your soul is feminine. The Christ was the seed of the mother. That's why he told on the cross, he said to the person on the right, you will join me in paradise. He was on the hill of Golgotha. Golgotha meant skull. It's all talking about your brain and the Christ within. Solomon means soul of man. Okay? The temple of Solomon, it was a penis entering a vagina. Solomon, or the soul of man, they called the wisest man on earth, had 700 concubines and 300 wives. They were letting you know, and he sacrificed to Moloch and other people. They were letting you know the wisest man on earth at that time, the soul of that man. And there's many books, the lesser key of the Solomon was letting you know that he was given the keys, all the mysteries, and still decided to do evil with it. It's all about it. This is all allegorical stories, mythological stories, for you to realize that you are the temple, and it's up to you how you build it and what spirit and what God is inside of it. And there's only one source of soul. And it even tells you in code in Revelation that you will return to the bosom. And they had the nerve to tell you the bosom of the Father. There is no Father that has a bosom except the Baphomet. The Baphomet is the only thing I've ever seen that's male that has a bosom. They're rubbing it in your face that you've been duped and tricked into worshiping their Father God stuff, and it's all been lies, and it all came from these beings right here with these beards that we call the Anunnaki, who came over in bloodshed, and they killed, raped, destroyed. They're the most horrible people on earth. And then we got people arguing about skin color and who the real Hebrews are and this and that. Listen to me. They were all Arabic. All the real Jews, they were not black. They were not white. None of them. They were all Arabic. All of them. Isaac, Ishmael. They all come from the same father, Abraham. Okay? He came from the desert, a traveler from the Arabian desert. And that whole area was people that look Arabic. That's why they tell you that the Christ was a bronze color and this and that. Okay? I'm gonna get into it. Okay, so let me see where I went. The oldest temple in the world that's ever been excavated is in a place called Al-Ubaid and comes from around 3500 BC. This huge temple compound is in the form of the vagina of a cow. The cow goddess, the universe as cow mother. The milk of the cow is the milk of the goddess. Okay? In the compound was a herd of sacred cattle cared for by the priest of the Great Mother. The sacred milk of the sacred cattle will be fed to the ruling house as holy food. This is the oldest temple in the world that's ever been excavated. That was all about the Great Mother. Okay. The 4 feet of the cow are the 4 points of the compass. And this is everywhere in the world. Now we come to this lion form right here. The lion pouncing on the cow, or on the bull in this case. This represents the sun pouncing on the moon. The lion pounces on the bull because this is when their changeover event happened, when the sun disk came back in the sky and they regained power. That's why they worship the sun. That's why they rewrote the New Testament to make you think that Christ is the sun, with the 12 disciples going through the 12 zodiacs, because they worship the sun, because that's when they take back, that's their small season. That's when they get to reign. When the blue sky comes back and the sun and the moon is in the sky. Because as I said before, this wasn't the moon, this was Venus, which represents love. So the sun, the lion is the sun, which is Leo, which is ruled even today by the Babylonian zodiac, by the sun. The sun pounces on the moon, the lion pounces on the bull. An equivalent symbol is also the eagle pouncing on the serpent. The moon sheds its shadow, the serpent sheds its skin. The eagle is the solar bird, which is originally the phoenix. The lion is the solar animal. So the eagle and the lion both represent these sun worshipers, the same people that did 9/11, the same Solomon, soul of man, solar. The soul is the soul in the sun disk in the air, Sol Invictus. The O is the earth, and Mon is the moon. Okay? So this figure right here is from 3200 BC, from Sumer. Way before any of the Bible or anything. It is enormously important, and a beard that indicates a ceremonial and symbolic animal with the bull's horns. He's being consumed by the lion eagle. This lion bird is a Sumerian representation of the solar power constantly consuming the bull. Meaning this is when our days are shortened, when the sun disk is in the air. People think the sun is all about life. The sun, that solar disk in there, is what is shortening our lives. It's what's killing things. We will get back to our long lives once there is no sun disk in the sky no more. When the sky goes back to a purplish, reddish hue all day and all night. But there will be stars still in the skies though. Okay? That's why some of the planet stories are older than the sun and the moon. Like Saturn, who is L. So, let's see. So the solar power, or the line, is constantly consuming the bull. That's us. We're the seeds of the mother. Life comes, life goes. And let me be clear. We were represented by the serpent as well. Originally, we was the serpent. The shedding of the snake's skin was us being born again. So the original Christ teaching that comes from the Essenes was actually us, and I know y'all gonna have a hard time with this, was a serpent cult, not the spirit. It was all about the energy of the mother that comes from below, not above, below. The mother gives it. Where does all the fruit and all life come from? Is life dropping out of the sky? Does a bird egg just fall from the sky? No. All life comes from down here. Solar disk constantly consuming us, our life, and the Great Mother dying. That was at the last changeover event after the flood. Life comes, life goes. 1 foot is on the crescent from here, and that represents on the top of the cosmic mountain. The cosmic mountain is the earth goddess. That is here is the generating power of the bull. This is why all the religions are so infatuated with mountains. El Shaddai means the God of the mountain, among many other things. And Moses came down off the mountain, and the fallen angels on Mount Hermon, and this and that. It's all about the mountain because the mountain represented the mother. It was all about conquering the mother, subduing the mother. The first 10 commandments, I have an old teaching on my Facebook page. The first 10 commandments are in code in Genesis that tell them to kill, destroy, and subdue all life, anything moving on earth. And the Old Testament goes on to start killing fellow humans and even sacrificing them. And it's in the Bible, human sacrifice. They've just taken it out in the English version. They were sacrificing humans even to Yahweh, Yahuwah, Yah, whoever you want to say. It don't matter if you're saying Yah, Yahuwah, all of that is the same He, Father God, that they was that they was sacrificing babies to. Same as Moloch, Baal, all of them. This is fact, beloved. So here he's standing on the cosmic mountain. Hey, baby. And this same picture appears in the Navajo. You guys know I am a real chief, a real native chief. No, baby, don't blow that here. Now I'm doing, do it back there, please. I love you. Now I just met with 4 prime chiefs of the land, but I did not meet with the Navajo. But the Navajo have the same thing, almost the same exact artwork, the same exact appear representing energy and power. The original serpent Madonna that they've told you now is just so evil, and they have made it evil. They've made the serpent evil from Babylon. Was first discovered in the 1920s. And it was thought to be of the fall of the Garden of Eden from the Bible, from the book of Genesis. But it's not. It comes from an Babylonian myths. It comes from the cosmic tree, or the axial tree. Let me see if I got a picture of it, if I brought it up. Right here. Wait. Yeah, that's it. This is Gilgamesh again killing the mother. This is Shamash. This is the tree of life. That's the snake wrapping around the tree of life. But there's another one. I had a better one. Oh, here's Anu. Here's the Most High, Anu. That everybody talking about the Anunnaki. Well, if you look real close, what is his foot on? It's on the cow. Anu, the Most High. So we already had Enlil. Now we have Anu, also known as El Elyon, standing on the cow, letting you know, the great mother's been conquered. It's everywhere, y'all. Y'all just do not know what you're looking at. I did not bring it up. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I know you've seen it many times. I mean, here's a picture of it. Here's one. Okay. You see the hue of the sky? You see the hue of the colors? That's the color the sky is going to go back to. This is when it was good. This is when it's good. This is the tree of life. Okay? Um Again, here's another one. The tree of life. You see nothing but women all around the tree of life, drinking from the and eating from the tree of life, not the tree of knowledge. This is the tree of life. Pouring out water. They're not even eating. They're pouring out rivers of living water. She is. The goddess is coming out of the tree of life. There's fruit hanging, but they're all drinking. They're all drinking here. They're all getting poured the rivers of living water, which is the Great Spirit. Now, let me show you what they did. Now let me show you. Let me find the right one because I want you to see the right one. Right here. This is the Pepsi symbol. That's snake, right? That's Ra. That represents Ra, which is a jackal. It's not a lion. This is a chimera. It's a jack. It's a creature that doesn't even really exist. It's a jackal that has this blade that is slicing the serpent, the pep that is on the tree of life, guarding the tree of life. This is the Pepsi symbol. If you turn the Pepsi upside down, it says dead. It's of a pep. When Ra, the sun god, when the sun disk comes back into the sky, the sun right now is what you would call biblically the Antichrist. And we're going to get into it. There is no two suns in the sky. You're seeing, there's not even one sun in the sky. The sun and the moon are reflections from the plasma that's coming through a lens. A concave lens is a type of lens that diverges light rays. Okay, that's not a concave lens, which is like an hourglass. This is the light source. It comes through the lens. It separates light. This is separation. This is called division. This is what they are doing. This is what you will call the fallen angels or angels of light. Diverging lens. They want to separate the light or eternal souls, right? Now what we have is a converging lens, an optical lens that converges all rays of light passing through it. That is our dome. It's a lens, it's a brain, it's a lens, it's like your eye. So, what happens? There's only one part at the very top of our dome, right here, where light comes through from the plasma outside of our dome, outside of the waters. The plasma cannot even pass through the waters because plasma is water. It's the fourth state of water. Everything here, we are in water. You're in water right now. You're breathing water right now. You're just breathing gas. The second state of water. All right, liquid, gas, ice, which is solid, and then plasma, which is coming as fire during the changeover event that I'm breaking all this down for you. Now, this is the top of our dome. So imagine this turn. The light, not the plasma, comes through. There's two firmaments. One is ice, one is water. Here's the entrance. It comes through. right now, because we're getting so close to the event, do you see these different intersection points? This is why people are seeing 1, 2, 3 suns in the sky, because the way it's happening right now is, and it's gonna take a lot of teaching for me to get this to you. This is like chemistry or something. This is masterclass stuff about our realm. This is why people are seeing 2 suns and things, because it's 2 different points where the light is converging. We have an ideal image where the sun are shortening, but because of that, you're that are all reflections. And I'll get to the heat part about that. Well, if there's an ice dome, why is the heat not melting? I will get to that. I'm going to explain all of it. This is the 100% truth. No one else anywhere is going to give this to you. Nobody. No one's even that close. People only have little sprinkles of it. Okay. Now, proof of this is this event in 2009, December 9th, 2009. This was in Norway, the spiral event. This is what the real light looks like when it comes through. That's why they called it the Apep. That's why the serpent was venerated. They're not talking about no snake, no serpent. This is what it really looks like. This is it. This is the spiral of life. This is how all life comes into existence, through this spiral. This is what it looks like out the top of the dome. This was in Norway. Norway is also where all the northern lights come from. This is Norway right here. This is the Son of Man in the mother. You're witnessing just a little bit of the Son of Man in the mother. Now, when the changeover event happens, all of this right here is going to turn into a beam. You see how this all looks like a snake? Look at it. This is why that Ra slayed the snake, because when this event happens, the Son of Man is going to come out of what we call Mount Meru, which is the magnetic north, and is going to slay the Antichrist, which is the sun disk that's in the sky right now. That sun disk is going to turn blue. It's going to take off its mask. It's going to be a blue sun with a... It's going to be a magnet. Look, even the fake little pictures they give you of the universe is spirals. Why is that? Because of the real deal. Of that right there. That's how the light comes in. That's how it's reflecting. And people are seeing 2 suns, because right now the spiral is tightening. The days are getting shorter. So different reflections and different things are happening. Signs. Okay. And let me show you. They probably done took it off here. Let me see. It's basically going to look like this, but the ring is going to be blue. The ring is going to be blue. It's going to be at the magnetic north, and I'm going to give you the day where you can look to know if it's the year, if it's going to happen. Okay, I'm not going to tell you the exact day and time, but I'm going to teach you how you can know if this is the year it's going to happen. Number one thing I can tell you now is you need an analog clock with batteries, or because or solar power, it really don't matter. Um, that is not connected in any way to the internet. They are messing with the time right now because time is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. This is how I know the elites don't know the full truth, because they tried to get out of here. They thought it was going to open in 2017. On 2017, in 2017, SpaceX launched the day after the winter solstice because they thought it was a chance that that was going to be the day. They launched up the day after the winter solstice because the winter solstice is the only day that you will be able to tell if this is the year it's going to happen. Remember that, and I'm going to teach you this. This is why you should only be worried about 4 different dates. All that other stuff is hogwash. The 2 equinoxes, internet. You have to learn to look in the sky. And guys, let me be clear. All that stuff they spraying in the sky has nothing to do with what you think it is. All that nano stuff in the sky is them. They're gonna try to block this event from happening. They're gonna try to make a force field because, as I said, plasma is matter, so it doesn't go through matter, but it can fry it. They're trying to make so much nanoparticulates in the atmosphere that when this event happens, they can create a frequency that can create a protective barrier that will allow them to try to fly out of here or other things. But it's not for what you think. Everything that you've been told is a lie, including from all these truthers. That nano stuff is not for anything else except for the elites to try to escape. And that's pretty much it. And in the meantime, try to hide you from looking up in the sky and being able to see certain things and learn about, the solstices and things, and learn how to, instead of Googling things, to look at it for yourself. So look, SpaceX, the day after the winter solstice, which was December 22nd, launched. You can see they hit the water right there. They hit the water. They knew that that's the day to look, and they know to look for the time to be short, but they hit the water. Their timing was off. See? See? They hit the water. Now, guess what happened? A couple days later, the day after Christmas, December 26th, the Russians launched. 2017, the Russians launched on December 26th. Right here. Why did they do it December 26th? Because the event is going to happen between the winter solstice and around Christmas. That's what the Christmas tree is all about. They've told you the Christmas tree is about all this other stuff. The ancient shamans all knew this. The Christmas tree was a way for us to pass down this knowledge to our children. The star on top is the plasma. Okay? Is the opening on top. Let me see. The ball dropping in Manhattan. All right, let me try to find one that got spirals. Okay, so It's about there's the star, okay, which is actually has to do more with the Star of David. I'm gonna get into that because what the real source of the light looks like is it looks more like it looks more like the Star of David. It's actually pyramid shaped, and it's circular. The source of light that's coming in here is not circular, y'all, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So here's Atlantis. Here's your three rings, your three levels. 1, 2, 3, which is also the menorah. It's all secrets right in your face. The menorah is just the three circles also that when they look in the sky during this event, you can see it. You see this? 1, 2, 3. If I clip this and put this on top of it, it's three circles. It's one circle, two circle, three circles. That's only half because they're on the bottom half. It's heaven and earth. Like I said, there's two different domes. It looks kind of like this. I couldn't find a picture of it, so I'm going to show you some of my handwritten notes. This is what you call heaven or the Shemayim. There's a hole right here and there's a hole right here. We are down here on this plane. Okay? And it's in the Bible, if you go to the original etymology, when it says that they created heaven and earth, it's two different domes, two different realms. One circle, two circle, three circle. Okay? It's also the trident. Okay? It's everything. And if you guys want to know the real reason, and I'm gonna get into this about why they're doing all this at certain places, all the wars, almost every war they do is around the 33rd parallel or that's how they say it on a globe. But it's 33 degrees north latitude because 33 degrees north latitude is the highest secret of the Freemasons. Because 33 degrees north latitude is the safest place to be on the flat earth plane when this catastrophe hits. Let me repeat that. With the 33rd degree north latitude is the safest place on the earth plane when this event happens. Or at least within 5 degrees of it. That's why every ancient site, ancient ruin, only exists within 5 to 8 degrees of 33 degrees north latitude. The ancient pyramids, all of that. Everywhere else, like Australia and places, they don't have any ancient sites because they get wiped out every time. The whole southern hemisphere pretty much gets wiped out every time. All the most ancient structures on Earth are near the 33 degree north latitude line. And let me show you what this looks like. So this is the lens coming through what it's supposed to look like. I showed you about the two suns and stuff. When it's normal, this is the confusion. This is what's going on now. Why two suns in the sky and all that. Let's see if I can find a normal picture. I must have took it down. Well, here's half of the flat Earth map. Let me see here. Here's the old map. Now look. This is the old Rupus Nigris map. You see how they say the pole goes this way. Now in the northern hemisphere, all storms rotate in the northern hemisphere, they rotate counterclockwise. In the southern hemisphere, they rotate clockwise. Why is this? Because everything from the North Pole, which is right here, Mount Meru, the center, to the equator, which the equator is, let me show you. There's the storm thing. Everything north rotates counterclockwise. Everything's in the south rotates clockwise. It's because the energy. This is going to be your pole shift. Now let me show you what the equator and stuff is and why. This is the making of a storm. Look. How tropical storms are made. All storms are made. This is exactly what's going to happen. When this event happens. You see the spiral? That's how a storm is made. That's even in scripture. It says a tempest. A tempest is a worldwide storm. And see how it's rotating that way? Well, which way was it rotating in the ancient maps? They show you. They telling you even in the ancient maps, y'all. It's because it's rotating this way. Now, of the right hand shows, this is, electricians know this. If your hand is on a pole like this, you can use this in everyday life. If the current is going up, that means whichever way your thumb is facing is the way the current is going. Whichever way your fingers are facing is the way the magnetic field is moving. Hence, the ancient map of the pole. What's going to happen is this is going to shift. When the dome opens, the current is going to come down. This is going to go that way, and it's going to create the biggest earthquake that you ever can imagine. And it's going to create no electromagnetic activity. Silence in heaven, they call it, where everything that's not tied down is going to float. Now, in the survival part of this teaching, which is going to be, I don't know, it's a series. I'm going to teach you what you need. If you live in places like Australia and you can't get to around the 33 degrees, 5 to 8 degrees within 33 degrees north latitude, don't worry about it. I'm still going to teach you where you can go, what you need. So that's where the rapture comes from, when this reverses and all the pressure is let out and everything floats up. That's what happens during this rapture event, and it's not good. Just like a storm. Exactly how a storm is made. Let's see. All right. Now, this is not the correct flat earth map, but it's the closest thing I can find with what I was looking for. Now, you see the purple? That's the equator. The middle point is the North Pole. Here's the ice wall. The equator is halfway from the North Pole to the ice wall. It's the halfway point. So the southern hemisphere is everything on the outside of this half of the equator. That's all the land on. There's the middle, Mount Meru, where this event is going to happen, where the hole at the top is, where it's going to open up, and it's all going to happen. It's right here, which is now water right now. Before it's been land. Right now it's water. But the reason they're doing all them wars and stuff over there is because they're trying to take control of all the places on the 33rd parallel. Almost every single war. Libya, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran, Gaza. Right now they're over there in Gaza, in Gaza, Giza, 31 degrees north. Israel, what they call Israel today, 31 degrees and 30 degrees north. Almost exactly on the 33rd parallel. They're fighting over who can be the safest. That's what all these little fake wars are about, to take over the 33rd parallel. And you're going to continue to see it. And I'm going to, this is part one of this teaching. This teaching is going to get better and better. This is more like an introduction. I don't want to make it too long. The equator is halfway from the magnetic north to the Antarctic, you would call it border, I guess. And then halfway from the equator to the from the equator to the magnetic north is the Tropic of Cancer. That's the Cancer, the first yellow circle. Halfway from the equator to the Antarctic Circle is the Tropic of Capricorn. That's why the ancients used to say that souls came in through Cancer and exited through Capricorn. Okay? And Capricorn has to do with the goat. And they worship the goat and all that stuff because during their time, when the blue thing comes in, this is good for them. And that's a whole nother thing. But the sun, what you call the sun, is the reflection of the light that follows this spiral. It spirals. That's all it does. And what's going to happen is the days are going to shorten so much. 1 year on December 21st, the winter solstice, the sun is no longer going to go, it's going to pass Cancer, and it's going to go here. It's going to spiral all the way to here. And that's the abomination of desolation. And it's going to remove its mask, and it's going to turn black with a blue ring around it. And that's when the Bible says don't grab nothing and run for the mountains. Well, I'm going to prepare you way before that. You're going to know when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen. You won't have to guess no more. You finally have come across someone who spirit. Not all this guesswork, not all this reading book after book after book. I'm here telling you the 100% true thing, the true construct of this realm, everything. Everything you need to know right now. Okay? So halfway from magnetic north, in between magnetic north and the Antarctic Circle is the equator. That's the purple line. Halfway between the equator and magnetic north is the yellow line, the Tropic of Cancer. Halfway between the equator and the Antarctic Circle is the Tropic of Capricorn. The reflection of the sun follows the spiral, but it's reflecting off of two different firmaments right now because the spiral is tightening. The days are shortening, so these lines are getting closer. That's why people are seeing two suns, and the moon and this and that is acting up, and it's in the daytime, and it's over here, it's over there, because the spiral is closing, and it's going to close so tight that eventually it's going to be right here. All right? That's the end of part one. I love you. Share this. Get this out there to your loved ones, whoever you love. This is serious. This is going to happen in your lifetime. It's coming much faster than what you think. And it's all about days, time. That's why Christ in Matthew 24, I believe, or 28. I always get it confused. I'm pretty sure it's 24. Matthew 24, verse 22, shortening of days. Christ basically said that's the main thing. You need an analog clock. They've already been hiding this for a while now. And this is the real reason they do daylight savings. Okay? Last year alone, we lost 11 minutes off of just them doing daylight savings alone. How much more time? My clock on my stove every couple months is off by like minutes compared to the phone and everything hooked to the internet. I gotta fix it. Stop fixing it. Get you a clock that's old school, old fashioned. Okay? That's what you need. That's your first step. I'm gonna teach you the rest. I love you, beloved. You have a great day.